out for Cowboys the year that I actually made it because I tried out it was my 4th time trying out before I actually made the show. So the reason why I made it my 4th time is they kept telling me like, your talent is there, you're beautiful, you just have to lose weight. So literally if you go back and you watch the show, I was like, I'm the biggest I've ever been right now. I was like 25 pounds smaller than I am now. I was bobblehead. I was tiny. But when I was on the show and when I was on Cowboys, it was 5 black girls, and I was like, yes, and I actually knew most of them before I even made the show because I was friends with a lot of them. Kirsten, my best friend, she was on Cowboys a year before I got on there. I was really good friends with Jenna, Robin, Kaylin, and I'm still good friends with all of them to this day. Jenna's actually getting married this year. I'm sad I won't be able to make her wedding. It's in Hawaii. I'll be sad for that too. Yeah. Hawaii beautiful. I know Hawaii is beautiful, but I'm like, we've been on enough trips this year, Keyra. We're gonna have to simmer down.
I think you should go, but that's another topic altogether. So going from a Dallas Cowboy and being in the public like you were, because you was in public, like Dallas Cowboy is America's team, so everybody saw y'all, and then going to own network TV. How was that transition? First, how did you even get on the show? Let me start there. How did you get on the show?
So, fun fact: I actually was on America's Got Talent in 2018. Which is
I have to look that clip up, y'all.
I think what is that? VH?
Wait, CBS?
CBS. Yes, CBS. I was like, it's something.
Viacom, yes.
Yes. Okay, so I was on that when I was a freshman in high school. Then I was on Cowboys, which is the country show, and then CMT. Thank you. I'm like country something. Yes, CMT, and then OWN. So what I will say is, Owen actually reached out to me. I had someone who was a recruiting person for Ready to Love. They reached out to me in October. They were like, I saw you on Instagram. I think you have great energy. You're pretty, like all the things. Would you want to, be on the show? And I was like, I haven't really seen the show before. Right. Let me check out a couple things. And I will say I didn't do a lot of research. I just tried to do enough. And now I'm like, Keyra Ford, you probably should have did some more research because now I think if I would have done the research that needed to be had, I would have saw that this might not be my platform where people can understand me for who I am. Because I feel like I've gotten a lot of backlash. Or I think I would have not tailored myself to be something that I'm not. But I think that first off, I just got to be better at, thinking my thoughts all the way through before I say it. If it comes to my mind, I'll just say it. And then I'm like, dang, did I say that? And this show is not.
It's not up there. I don't think it's a bad thing because I am that way too. I get penalized for it as well. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that with the reader room, this room that wasn't ready for that type of everything.
The room wasn't ready, and then from social media,
nobody.
They off with my head. But I'm glad I got a backbone. I'm glad I know who I am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad I know whose I am. And I don't know. I'm just, as this process has made me, up and down with my emotions, I definitely think that it's something that I needed because I feel like it checked me quick. So I feel like my spiritual, maturity is has jumped up a level or two.
Wow. So let me ask you a question about, because when the show started, every season is different, but to me, Dallas stood out of all the seasons. It just came through, period. So the first thing, with the whole thing with even me going to the parties, Janelle speaking out, none of y'all spoke out. Nobody spoke out on Rachel or Dallas. I think Janelle made a post, women are obsessed with me. Let's start there. Nobody knew any of the women or the cast, not even myself. That's the first statement. So we were already feeling like it was an explosion for Dallas. How do you feel? Because you guys were sitting back watching this, and now since it's been on, we're going to this episode 8. Do you think y'all started out firepower, compared to anybody else? I know you said you didn't do much research, but trust me, y'all have. But I just want to get your opinion about it.
Since I hadn't watched other episodes or other seasons to know how they started, I can't really say that I felt like it was a bang bang. Right. But just hearing you say that, sure. Okay. I can't really speak on that fully.
Right,
if you know what I mean.
I do. It's been a lot. Dallas has come. I feel like it's bigger in Texas. I was like, the whole statement was really this show this season, and I'm sure the next season as well. So your name, Keyra. So I know that young lady. I don't like you say her name. I'm saying this here, Janelle. You know, I don't rock with me. I'm sorry, but she made the whole statement about how you said your name differently. Now, something about your name is pronounced Keyra, right? Like trying to say that you changed it to be more white instead of black.
No, so my real name. So everyone
like that, by the way.
Everyone has nicknames. Like Habibi, his name is Travis. Like exactly. Marvin, he goes by Adonis. I feel like that's just like a part of who we are. We always have nicknames. Yes. So my real name is Lanicia Shakira Ford. Okay. So since I was in 3rd grade dancing, I just went by Keyra because it was just easier to say. It was just Keyra was just right. It was like my stage name. So I think that when Janelle found out my real name, right. she felt like I was ashamed of it, which it's funny because anyone who calls me Lanicia, I know that they know me since 1st grade. Right. Like I know that they know me, Mm-hmm. When people call me Keyra, because in college people call me Keyra, people call me Lala. Like I have a lot of nicknames. I just stage name is Keyra.
Right, mine's Mimi. No one called me that. Yes, but see, no one knows that it's Mimi. My name is Kamisha. They don't pronounce it correctly, so Mimi is a nickname that I've used. But when I heard that, I was like, no. Look at Nene Leakes. Her real name was never used.
And first, it's not. And that too, because I own my house. I don't want people looking me up. It's public records to come to my house, and I just think it's a protection thing. And also, once again, it's just a stage name. Yes. Everyone has it.
Yes. So the show, going on the show, and you said they reached out to you, and once you got on the show and it was filmed and everything, how did you feel once you got on it and you was like, signed, you're already there, boom, it's kind of too late, I can't turn back? Was there a feeling of regret at all?
So I will say this. I think I had a little bit of a disadvantage. And the only reason why I say that is because I was 29 when they reached out in October. They told me the show wasn't going to start until March. And I was like, oh, well, perfect. I guess this is fate because my birthday's in January. Okay. You have to be 30 to be on the show. So I think I was just fresh 30. Right. I mean, I usually date guys maybe 4 or 5 years older than me. Right. And so going on to the show, and we have women who are 12, 15 years older than me. Yes. Men who are 15. That's a lot of years of just, moving in the world a little bit more. And so I just felt like when I got there, I was still excited because I think nothing that we go through in life is a waste. Everything is always working out for my good. Right. So when I got there, I was like, okay, like God, I literally said, God, just speak through me. Even though some things that came out were not necessarily that. But oh my goodness. I was just, I don't know. I was excited and nervous all in one. Yeah.
As far as the men, did you see prospects? I know that they are older than you, but still we date older men.
Oh yeah, all day every day.
So did you see any prospects at all in the beginning?
So I said this on the show. I thought Quentin ideally look-wise, and I said that look-wise was like my type because I like, athletic looking men. I didn't say personality-wise for a reason. I didn't think that we necessarily connected that way. I thought Habibi was cool. I think Habibi is nice on the eyes, but the person who I like immediately connected with when it came to physical looks was the wild card Chris. Yes. When he came in, I was like,
he's fine.
Hi. I was batting my eyes. I was like, well, hello, darling. I'm like, thank God they didn't send somebody. Right. Who else? I thought Chris had a beautiful smile. I'm like, he seems so peaceful. And that's probably it. Yeah. Marie, I was like, oh, he got nice hair. That was probably it with me for Marie. Phil, I was just like, okay, he reminds me of like an uncle. What's up? Right. What's up, Unc? You know? Who else am I leaving out? Am I leaving out anyone else? Oh, Marvin. I thought that Marvin was very mystery looking.
Yes.
He was.
This is a lot. A lot of mystery. Good mystery.
Yeah, good mystery. Marvin. Yeah. I love Marvin. Me too. Yes. I actually connected with him more outside of the show than on the show. Like when we were filming after like some people had gotten cut. Yes. We were filming like the beginning, the trailer part. We like were playing games on the side, and I was just like, we connect in so many ways. It's just some things
right, of course,
don't necessarily mesh well with me.
So sitting back watching the show, especially the first beginning, the whole big thing with our girl T in the going home and everything, and the whole thing with even the same person we spoke of earlier, Janelle, which I think is anyway. How did you sit back as bubbly as you are, and sitting back watching all these things happening, because I feel like it's a repeat again with you when y'all have the deliberation, ladies, again, the same person. So sitting back watching it, knowing that we're all gonna watch it, and the narrative is like she's like the only one, and I was like, something's not right. In me watching as a blogger and as a fan, it just, how did you feel sitting back watching that happen, knowing it's gonna happen to you again? And we didn't see it obviously, but you knew it was coming.
Well, I mean, the first interaction with T and then when they were about to get into it, I was actually baffled, and I was kind of like, T, like, don't let people get you and shoot. And like, we have this conversation all the time. I say, don't ever let anyone get you unraveled.
Right.
Like, we can always handle situation in the most like, okay. Like if you heard me, I was just like, okay.
Yes, you were.
Okay. Because at the end of the day, you can't argue with someone who doesn't want to listen. So it's just best to just say your piece and then leave it like that. So when I saw T do that, I was just like, dang, like we're supposed to be like not sisters, but like we're in this together, you know? And it was unfortunate, but Janelle was throwing shade at me and T in the first one because I put Habibi like third in my top. So she was like, y'all top. And we were sitting beside each other, and she kept poking at things. Like Tommy would say something, well, I would be speaking, and then they would try to chime in, and then T will start speaking, and then they'll chime in. And so I don't know. It's kind of like she wanted to come onto the show and be the
mean girl. I said it.
I won't say mean girl, but
it is to me.
Because I think sometimes the mean girl on reality TV is the it girl. That's the one that everyone remembers.
That's true.
So I think that maybe she was like, well, I want to be remembered, and so I don't care about being infamous if that's the case. But some people love her, so she might be famous.
People on the show, I don't know if they still like her, but anyway, I'm allowed to say that. But she's older, and like I said, I'm older, as well. Did you look at her like, okay, let me look up to her because she is older than me, and to be in a position where she is coming for you, and you are younger. So I'm just trying to imagine if I was that age and someone older than me was coming to me like that. Well, I'm trying to look up to you, but yet we're doing it back and forth. Did that make you feel like? I mean, I'm not saying age, like saying that she's
ageism. Yeah,
that's nothing like that. I'm just saying more of it. That's just the way it is. For myself, if someone's younger than me, I'm going to look out for them some kind of way. We may not get along, but if I see you stepping out of line, I say, hey, baby girl, off camera, off to the side. I'm not gonna do all that like it did on camera. It's like you're reaching for a moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
absolutely, I definitely think I can hold my own. But I will say this: so the mixer, at the mixer, I came into the mansion to use the restroom before we actually went in. So when I came in, I like peeked my head around and I saw her, and I was like, "Oops!" She was like, "Yeah, you need to get out of here," because I guess she Ubered. Wow. I know. And I remember telling the producers, I was like, I don't know about that one girl. She didn't seem like she was too friendly. So then I was like, okay, but I don't know her, so I'm not here to judge, okay?
Understandable.
So then the brunch came up. When we went to the brunch, I get there, and I guess she's talking around me. She's like, hey, girl, hey, girl, hey, girl. And I didn't notice it because at that point, I'm like, baby, we're here to do a job.
Yeah.
So I'm here to do a job because I also got to go and do my actual job.
Right.
So
100%.
Let's do what we got to do so we can get out of here.
Exactly.
So then that happened. And then T had that date with Janelle. And then that's when I could see like, okay, Keyra, she just don't like you. But I've always thought of it as like, maybe my light irritates. Well, no, it irritates her darkness or whatever. Like sometimes you don't have to do anything for people not to like you.
At all.
Like I'm going to be honest with you. It was the mixer. It was the brunch. That date, then we went to the thing. So she was saying she didn't like me when, from the beginning, when I didn't even do anything to her. I had literally peeked my head around. Yeah, get out of here. Like I don't know.
That's so odd to me. Like y'all will get to know each other. I wish you could be more of a sorority because you guys are in it in a situation, that no one else is involved in. But to me, I think the bond is not every season. Some they have problems too, trust me. But I'm saying there's still a bond because you ladies are going through something that nobody else, none of us has experienced. It's just y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all experience. So I feel like it should be more of a bond. I'm not saying best friends or anything, but not this. You have to understand me. Even going to two different parties was weird to me. I just never said it on camera. I'm just like, why is there two different parties?
What was the energy like at one versus the other?
At the other party it was different. It wasn't like welcoming. I mean, That's why I left so early. I never said this on camera. I wasn't had no problem with Jessica, nothing like that. But even though it was hot as Hades at the other one, and it was. But,
it was hot at ours.
But it was more fun and more just like as soon as they came in, come here, sit it up. Not saying that they didn't say hi to me. I think Janelle was actually the only one who spoke to me, and she got on camera and was like, I know y'all talking shit. Like, that's my first interaction. Like, first time meeting. I'm like, I don't know who was talking, whatever, but okay, nice to meet you. That's literally how I met her.
Yeah.
It left a taste, but I just like, I don't know her because know her. So yeah, I thought that was odd that you guys had two different premiere parties. I never asked too much about it. I was like, why is it split? So for me, I'm thinking it's like this. Was y'all split the whole time, or did this happen in the beginning or middle? Was there something that catalyst that kind of the reunion? Because for y'all to be just split like that with the men and the women.
I think it really happened during the season. I mean, yeah, I think it happened. I think when we were at the lounge, people were going back, telling things that people were going, like what was going on. So it kind of divides people.
Yes, it does.
Regardless, even if you don't want it to be a division.
And that's unfortunate. And that's why I ended up leaving. No, like I said, no shade to nobody else, but that's the energy that I received when I got there. So that's why I went to the other one.
We were originally supposed to do it together, and then we found out that some people did not want to do it all together, and then they had their own event.
Okay, I know I was told that some people are friends previously to this, and it sounds to me it's like, okay, that's fine that you guys are friends. Dallas is it's kind of small.
Yeah, it's small.
I don't have an issue with that, but you come in like, oh, this is my bestie. So we were friends, but you guys, I'm not gonna rock with you. Did y'all get that feeling? Because y'all came together and didn't know each other. They knew each other coming in. So was it like a kind of united front? Y'all felt like before y'all could even get to know each other, like y'all didn't get a chance to. I feel like I'm asking because I wasn't there. I don't know.
I think that it's I felt like her and Jessica probably felt comfortable talking and just like doing all the things that they did because they were friends. They did have someone who's going to have their back versus like someone who's coming in and not knowing anyone and then having opinion, not knowing if other people are going to agree or be like, girl, I got that same experience. Right. So I think it was a comfortability thing, if that makes sense.
It does. And I do get that. I do, but I just feel like y'all didn't get the chance. That's just my opinion as far as to be friends. It just seemed like it was cut off the path. Even I watch the scenes of the shows and these are edited, it just looks like they're together. And like nobody else can be in that. You can't sit with me. Y'all know what I mean when I say that. So let me ask you a question about your experience. The big thing with your blackness, the Q situation. And I even talked behind the scenes that living here in Dallas, I've experienced so many different things that I can identify with some of the things that she stated because this is the way I was raised and everything. I wanted you to speak for yourself as far as when you said, the only thing I didn't understand when you said my cousin's black. Please explain that because I was like, I don't know. Everything else I got.
I called the producers. I was like, y'all got me on here looking a hot mess. I was like, how did y'all? I said, if you think like, not if you think about it, if you saw the original statement, okay? The original statement, he questioned my blackness. And I was like, I did the exact same thing that Q did. Oh, how Q was like, I have a legacy of black love in my family. He said his mom and dad are black and his grandparents and his great-grandparents. So when he questioned my blackness, I'm like, my parents are black. My brothers are black. My cousins are black. I love black love. Right. I mean, I love my black people. So they only took my cousins are black. I love black people. So then I'm like, this is me. I'm like, oh, that's how we doing it. Okay. That's how they gonna do me. Great. Because the thing is, the narrative that was very easy to push, and I will say I did help them push this narrative, the preppy black girl who's out of touch. That's the narrative that they pushed.
It was.
And they pushed it heavy. I mean, it didn't help that I did say the statement of like, I'm the whitest one here. So I do want to elaborate on that.
Yes.
And I even said it in the film, but to me, I think sometimes people only want to receive what they want to receive.
I agree.
I said personality wise, I know I'm not light skinned, so I know I'm not close to a white girl. I'm saying my whole life, my experience, my black experience growing up, I went to a school that was 85% Caucasians. My best friend is white from first grade. I think that when I got around other of my friends who were black, they would always be like, oh, you talk so proper. Oh, you act so white. So hearing that I act so white my whole entire life, I think, to be honest, when I said that, I was trying to protect myself, as in like, I'm going to beat everyone to it, because everywhere I go, people think that I'm white. So then when I say it now, it's like, oh Lord, Keyra don't even want to be black. She's saying that she represents more whiteness than she does black. And I'm like, see, sometimes you just can't win with people.
I agree with that too.
You can't win with people. So if I didn't say that, I think they would have been like, oh, this girl, because if it's not that I act white, I think I'm better than other people. And I don't have to do anything. Wow. So, and this is just my experience. So I think that when I said that, I was trying to not have people say it about me on the internet, but now they boasted about me. But I feel like if I didn't say it, they'd have been like, Keyra thinks she's better than people. I get those too so often, to the point where it's really frustrating.
Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. It's very frustrating.
It really does hurt my feelings. And when he questioned my blackness, I just kind of was like, I can't really run from this. Like, I don't. And then I like have to ask God, I'm like, is this supposed to be a part of my testimony? Is this something that I'm supposed to like carry out? Am I supposed to come up with a proper nation and get all my black proper women and make sure that they know that they're black enough? Because I had so many DMs, so many people who said, I resonate with you. People think I'm not black enough. So it's not like this is a one-off.
It's not.
And
you don't understand that. They don't get it. I grew up this way. My uncles called me white girl, me and my sister, because when we came from California, we talked extremely proper. We grew up in the military, so we traveled to proper schools. When I would go back to Louisiana, which is dirt Louisiana, they would call us white girls. It's a joke. Now, growing up now, we didn't like it.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, don't worry, but that doesn't identify anything to do with you. But even when I was in school, I would have people who weren't black who would tell me, I'm more black than you. I can do all this.
Correct.
All kind of things that people don't know, that if you have not lived here in Texas or just even lived in certain parts of the South where it's majority white, that was my childhood. I was like the only black person in class and everybody else was white. And they didn't treat me no different or anything like that, but you adapt to your environment. You really do.
You do. And so I don't think that I was glorifying like, oh, I'm closest to the white girl. Like, come bring a crown for me.
Right.
And I know that some people kind of think that I was trying to do that. And I'm like, I think it's because you didn't come from a place of understanding.
Yes.
And when you don't come from a place of understanding, you can only go off of your experience. But your experience is not mine.
100%.
And I've even heard some people say, I think one of the girls on your panel, she thinks that I guess like the fact that like she got told that she's pretty for a black girl. I got that too, and I was not like, oh my God, thank you. I was offended too, but that was just one piece of my story.
Right.
There's so many layers.
Right.
So I don't know. Sometimes when I do hear the panel, I kind of feel like if you resonate with me and then you're kind of like throwing me under the bus, it's kind of like, it's another place of coming from. We're not coming from understanding, but at the end of the day, all I can say is I try to show up. I try to give people grace.
Yes.
I have to give myself grace. And I've taken ownership of how I said it. Some of the things that I've said could have come off better, or I could have just not said them at all. And I know moving forward, that's something that I feel like God is working on. Working on me with is this tongue of mine, honey. It is a weapon.
Yes.
And I need to sometimes just be quiet.
Well, at least that you're recognizing that, and you're also talking about your experience, which I love, because like I said, editing cut off everything. So the whole thing with Q, now that was also, because I know it was mentioned with the first time with T, when she mentioned it, I think she said you and her, if I'm mistaken, that said that I knew Q that did not want to, I'm sorry, I don't want to say the paraphrase incorrectly, didn't date outside his race. And then Rob began with you, and when T left, it was just you who said it. But I know T also mentioned it as well.
She did. So she's like, Keyra, you need to tell them. I started that narrative, but they painted it on you. And she did. She was the one like, no, girl, like Q, like he doesn't like black women. And then I elaborated on it. And then I feel like they were like, we're going to make this Keyra story.
Yes, they did. They did.
And you have to think about it like for TV, for entertainment, reasons, what's entertaining?
Drama. Mess. Yes.
And I think sometimes what people try to do is like, okay, Keyra, how are you sad that he's questioning your blackness, and then you question if Q likes white women?
Okay.
And I want to clear that up. I asked about a preference.
Okay.
a preference. I said, do you like white women? Do you like Mexicans? It's a preference. It's just a question. If you feel uncomfortable, you didn't have to answer it. When someone asks me about my blackness, now you're coming from my identity, my character, who I am.
Right.
Like that's a completely different thing. And I'm in real estate. So with real estate, to me, it's big on reputation. So when you come from my character and act like I'm not for my people, to me, that's where it kind of hits me a little hard. And honestly, I still kind of tear up sometimes about it. Because this isn't just the show that I've been
that's real life.
Like I felt like this my whole life, where I'm like, you go to white events, you're the black sheep. Yes. You go to black events, you're the white sheep.
Oh my God, you can't win it all.
You can't win. So that's why I just be jolly and joyful. And I say, you fit in where you fit in, Keyra, and just show up as who you are. So
do you feel like they tainted you? Because I feel like when they go to the meetings and they have deliberations, the men and the women, if one person feels like that person, I don't like them, we had a bad date, I feel like it passes around. The women and the men, I'll say this. And I feel like that when Q went back and said this, now Maurier is saying, I'm like, wait a minute, when did this happen? When you were involved now with the all black power and Yeah. I just felt like it was like they tainted you a little bit. And then you stayed, but then it just kept going on. That was your narrative.
That was my narrative.
That was your narrative the whole time. I'm like, wait a minute.
Same thing with Unique. Her narrative was the thought job. Same thing with T. Her narrative was like the girl who was unstable, ready to fight.
Exactly.
Narrative for Marvin. He is the one who wants multiple wives. Yes. Everyone has a narrative if you really think about it. And so, yes, I do think that, I mean, it's a show. They have group text messages. They're sending out things. How can we get people off the show? It's not, I mean, this ain't, well, I don't know if that's exactly what they're saying, but that's how it kind of panned out to be.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, you watch reality TV so much, okay? You do blogs on this all the time. If I really threaten people of not being black enough, like Habibi said some things to some of the women that they didn't like, they got rid of him immediately. If I really if I really was on this show acting like I wasn't for my people, wouldn't you think that they would expedite me right on off of here? I've made it to over half of the show.
You did, actually.
And so when I talked to my mom about it, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was crying. I've been emotional about this because this has been my life, having to prove my blackness to people. How annoying.
Very much so.
How annoying. But when I talked to her about this, she was like, they don't know you. And they couldn't get to know you because it was a show and they're trying to figure out how they can try to make it to the end. And so you can't really take it, you can't take it as, you know, a personal attack. You got to take it as this is the story that was painted for you. Yeah. And also just ask God why it needed to be my narrative and how I can grow from it, really.
So it's like an alliance. I'm just asking. I'm saying this because I always feel like over the time I say, is there an alliance ready to love? You're right. I've done blogging for reality shows. Every show I've ever done has been alliance. Whether it's a challenge show or whatever, there have been alliances formed on even love shows, Love Island, all these things that they find out about each other. Let's get to the end or whatever. And I thought about Dallas. Are they doing an alliance? Because as it is, you got friends coming in together, people who knew each other. Dallas is a small place. There's a possibility to do alliances form to get to the end. Because people already know who's at the end. I'm not saying, but people already know. Some bloggers know. Again, I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. And I don't want to know it. People knew it, so don't tell me. Because I want to be surprised. But what I'm saying is I know some people who are going to get to the end. I'm just like, anyway. I'm just saying, like, do you feel, and no one may have told you, that there may have been some alliances formed?
You know, I'm just going to let everyone think what they want to think, and I'm not going to put my opinion on that.
Okay.
I think that if you watch enough interviews from the Dallas, cast, you can see it kind of, and you can hear it in people's interviews without saying alliance or not alliance. So that's what I'll say for that.
Me going to the parties, I saw it, and I'll just leave it at that. That's why I really hadn't said much. But when I had to wait for the season to progress for me to kind of give it an opinion, but that's what I saw. Unfortunately, and I guess I'm on the other side. It is what it is. I was chosen, so I'm gonna say where I'm at.
I was chosen, hey. Okay, I love that. I love it.
So with Maurier, tell me about that, because I don't know, it's like it came out of nowhere to me. A lot of the blogs that even read it was like, where did that come from? They knew about you and Q. That was we got it. But the Moria thing, the way he spoke about you was like, well, I'm not messing with that. I ain't rocking with that. Like she gets to see we get to meet the ex. You met the ex, right?
I didn't meet his ex. I met Phil's ex, which we can talk about.
But you came as far as on the show. You still got to meet the ex. You came so far on the show. So
I know they were gonna meet my best friend, who was white. She was ready. She was like, "Are you sure that they want me on this show?" Because I was telling her all the things that were going on. I was like, yes, you need to come in and you need to just be you. And she was like, okay. Bailey, I love her so much. We need to have her on.
Yeah, she probably would have. I would have loved it. Grill them all, please.
She would have. She has great questions. But yes, I made it as far as the whole exes. And what your original question was like, how did Maria come to this? So Maria said that I told him at the hoedown when the cameras were off that I didn't like to be around big amount of spaces of
that's what it was.
Black people. Okay, so I'm like, Maria, we never got unmiked since we were there. So if I would have said it, they would have shown it. That's my personal opinion. But if I did say it, which I don't recall, because I will say the hoedown, we were there all day and we had a brunch event before that. So it was a girls thing, because how filming works is they use the whole day. So the first part of it was just like the girls' brunch when you see us all in there. So I was drinking from there. Then we went to the hoedown. So I had quite a bit of drinks.
And you probably didn't eat nothing.
And barely ate anything. So I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember. But if I did say that, I also would imply too, I don't like being in big spaces of white people, Black people, Mexicans. I have to warm up. I have to feel comfortable. I have to feel like people can accept me for who I am. I have a big personality, okay? So I have a big personality, and on top of that, people think that I act white or proper, however,
or whatever, right?
Or act like I'm better than people. So I try to tread lightly, because I also don't want to. Honestly, I just don't want to be judged. I just want to be me.
Right. You should be able to be.
Judged,
not be judged, be yourself. Unfortunately, so Maria thing was a weird thing, in my opinion. So to get to Phil and the exes and how he also, I feel like, just kind of was just like shut down. I feel like the men shut down after the initial thing with Q. Once they came out, I just feel like no one gave you the chance. I don't know if that's.
Oh no, I was happy. I feel
like they didn't give you an opportunity. I feel like they just once that happened, it was on the table. That was a narrative for the men as well. Is what I mean, not just the show. Yeah, it was a narrative. So let's talk about Phil. So how was that meeting?
So I think that producers are a little petty. Just a little. I think they paired me with Phil because first off, I never had a connection with Phil. I never ever. Honestly, I didn't have a connection with anyone except Herbert, and I liked Chris for the little time that he was there. And I did like Red at one point in time. I thought that he was cool. I was still getting to know him. And I don't use the word like. I was interested to get to know them.
Okay.
I didn't like anybody. I was interested. So with Phil, I feel like they put me with him because his ex was, Hispanic. So I think they were being messy, thinking that I was going to say, oh, hey, don't you like, do you not like Black women? But it's funny because one of my clients who I was working with at the time, who was looking to buy a house, she's white and she had dated Phil before.
Wow. Interesting.
So I already knew Phil.
How did the women like that? Let me be quiet. Go ahead. Continue.
Didn't like, doesn't, wasn't, I almost say doesn't like Black women, because I think he likes Black women. I think that sometimes he just might prefer another race. And that's exactly what I was asking you. Like, do you prefer it? Not saying you don't ever like Black women.
But you have a preference.
Do you have a preference? Yeah. Everyone has preferences.
They do. They do.
Everyone has preferences. So I think when people were doing like a fake outrage, I just felt like people just wanted someone to hate, and I was just an easy target.
That's just the most weirdest thing for me.
I was an easy target.
Black men like white women all the time, and it's okay. So I don't understand why. I still don't get why.
There's some Black men that will say like, "You're the first Black woman I dated."
That's what I'm saying.
Like
LJ had his woman on there. I think she was Hispanic or Puerto Rican. I can't remember. And it was more than just him. So I just wanted to understand why you were getting that. I didn't understand.
I'm like, weren't other seasons where there was other men who dated? Okay. But Keyra is saying something that is so far-fetched.
It was so confusing. It was so confusing. I was just like, this is weird. This is weird. Okay, so Phil was the last. Herbert. Y'all had that whole little TikTok thing. So how did that? So you had a connection with him. So that's why you went out with him. It looked like y'all was having genuinely a good time. Why did not Why did I not? I'm sorry, why I didn't go past that? It seemed like nothing happened after that.
So after I brought him over and cooked for him, we danced. I thought I kind of wanted to bring him into my world, because I like to have fun with my person. That's just like who I am.
Right.
It could be dancing. It could be Topgolf. It could be anything. I just want to be active.
Right.
I don't want to just be like standing at each other, like asking each other questions. It gets kind of boring that way.
You want to do something more active. I got you.
Correct. And so after that, I just felt like, first off, before that, he had lack of communication. After that, it was the same. So to me, I'm like, sweetheart, I'm not asking you to chase me. I'm just asking you to pursue me. And I'm not here to beg you.
Of course
either.
not.
So at the end of the day, I just didn't feel like we had a true connection.
Okay.
I thought that I was interested in him, wanted to get to know him. But if you're not texting me outside like I feel like you should, I mean, I can't say he wasn't at all.
But more of like you're interested in that person.
Yeah, like I need to feel the energy. I need to feel the pressure. And there was no pressure. So after that date, I kind of was like, "Ooh, honey, I'm good on Herbert. Red was gone. Herbert, I'm good on." And then I blink my eye, and then Chris is gone, and I'm like, "All right, check. Y'all can go ahead and push me out of here, baby. I am good to go." Do you hear me?
Did you think about self-eliminating? Speaking of that,
I actually, the next date I went on to, I was like, "Hey, I'm not type that can be fake. Sit here and be like, oh my gosh, let me act like I want to get to know you." If you hear in all my confessionals, I kept saying, I'm going to be open to the process. I'm going to be open to the process.
You did.
Because I'm like, baby, I'm wide open and I don't want none of this that I'm dealing with. And
Abby said, new inventory.
Hello. And so I asked the producers, I was like, let's be honest. You guys can see I'm not interested in anyone. If you're not going to put me on any days with some people who are newer than what I've already been getting, I'm good. And they're like, no, Keyra, we feel like you're doing great. Just like keep showing up as who you are. And I was like, okay. And then I just was like, nah, Keyra, we finna just be like,
period.
I just went into pageant girl, just like smiling and just, okay, yeah. Wow. Are we done here? Okay. So when I saw Herbert we had a date with Herbert, I was like, "Ooh, this is it, baby." I literally said that. I said, "Honey, we have come to the end of the road."
So you already knew what it was.
Girl, I was praying and praising God on the way there. I said, "Father, please, you know my heart. I can't be here no more weeks."
When you say that, you know my heart. It's a serious conversation you have with Lord, okay? The Lord.
Because I had a different experience. It wasn't like I was liking the guys and I was disliking the women. I didn't like the guys and I didn't really care for some of the women. Right. So I just kind of felt like I was just in this place of just discomfort. Like
it's awkward for you. Just why am I even here?
Yeah. I was just like, whew, the energy was negative, and I don't know. I'm just big on my peace, my energy. So I was like, what you saw, I felt relieved. I did. And
she left in a very classy way. She did.
I was just like, I literally said, Heavenly, thank you, Father.
Right. You were so ready to get up out of there so bad.
Prancing right on out. Ta-ta, darling. Like,
she left out so happy. I was like, everybody in the comments were saying I love how she left. She left like she was happy to go. She didn't have no kind of problem. She just was like, I'm out. Bye.
And if you think about it, I am very consistent. I am very peppy. I've been peppy from the whole entire time. I am peppy when you met me at the party. As we sit here. As soon as I saw her,
boom. It was like so much energy. It was so much energy. It was. As soon as I met her, it's been the same consistently, the same time, the whole entire time. So do you feel like everyone else feels that this is a Janelle show?
I don't want this to be a Janelle interview. I'll say that.
Okay.
But no, I've said that. I think that sometimes they do put a lot of her on TV, but I think maybe she's just good for TV. And so congratulations to her.
So for you, what are some of your takeaways dating wise? Did it help you at all as far as your dating world personally outside of this? Because you are still single, correct?
Correct. And so what I would say is it helped me get a little bit more clear. I'm going to be honest with you. I was pretty clear when I was there. I want someone, I do my 5 F's. I want someone who's God-fearing. I want someone who's family-oriented, financially sound, fit, means that they got some discipline, and who can freak me down, baby.
Period.
So, I mean, I know sometimes I sometimes feel like I'm going to have to lose one of those 5. And if I had to lose one of those 5, I guess it would be like the fit, because I could always help them be fit.
Right.
But being on the show, it made me realize that when I know that someone doesn't have, they don't know their purpose in life, God has not told them what their purpose is, they're just not for me, because they can't lead me anywhere.
Okay.
And a lot of the men on there, I just didn't know if they knew what they were on this earth for. What are they here to do? What is their purpose? God told me my purpose at 24. Right. So I'm just kind of like, I wanted a leader, and I didn't really see that in the men that, that were there.
So would you do another show again that had thing to do with dating?
Absolutely not. Keyra I am private as it gets now, honey. Y'all won't see my, you'll see like, you'll see me do a picture of like his view, and it'll be a picture of me.
The back of his head, that's it.
And not even that. Like, you can see his fingernails, because now I just feel like I want to be so private with that part of my life, to the point where I don't want to come out until I have a ring on my finger.
Well, I understand that. So
engaged.
What about your family? How, being on the show after all this time, how is it affecting your family? Because I know that when you went through your hard times on the show, it has to affect your family as well. My mother would be probably pissed off. I don't like them, one defender of their child,
That is so funny. Okay, me and my mom are best friends. So she shoots it straight, okay? She told me, she's like, you'll get through this because you got a backbone. But I do think that you brought this on yourself. You started the narrative. When I said the whole, I'm the closest to a white girl, she felt like I opened up the can of worms. So the bed that I didn't put this stuff, I need to lay in it. And I was like, okay.
Only your mom will tell you like that.
Yes. Now my dad was like, these people don't know you. If they knew you, they wouldn't say they wouldn't be questioning no kind of blackness. Gotcha. My parents are from Louisiana. Like,
okay,
baby, if you met my parents, you'd be like, that all she does is talk proper, because everything else is pretty spot on now, So,
but your dad was straight up and telling you, but he told you the truth. Nobody doesn't know you, and
he said these people don't know you, and if they did know you, they wouldn't even question that. And he said that you probably were the realest one on there, but they couldn't see past what they already wanted to see.
Right.
And so he was like, "Baby, you closer to the right one. You just got a whole bunch of no's out the way. Just keep on, keeping on." Yeah,
I like that.
My parents are the perfect yin and yang. My mom is like, she's loving, but she's a shoot straighter. And then my dad's like, when it comes to business, he's like, you need to do more. But when it comes to men, he's like, be soft. This is what you can do. Like, he tries to give me tips because I'm ready for a husband.
My dad was like that too. I miss, he gave me such great tips. I use to this day. So what about the white people in your life? I know you have people you grew up with, even just people who are mentors, watching the show and hearing everything. What did they think about it? Did they come ask you anything? Did they say anything to you? Or
so my best friend was like, don't come for my best friend. I won't put her out because I don't want y'all.
Don't come for her best friend.
Yeah, don't come for her. She was just like, it's just kind of boring. I feel like they're just following drama. That's why that one girl's always shown, because she's always in drama.
Well, she wasn't the only one that said that. But.
Yeah, and then she wasn't offended with anything I said. Okay, she was like, I mean, it was a question. It wasn't like you were saying,
that's a real best
friend.
Oh
my gosh, like, you're lying, like accusing him after he said no, that's not his preference. You were like, okay, moving on. And then my other friends and clients were like, I didn't think anything was wrong with the question.
Okay,
and
good.
And then the other ones were just like, Keyra, I don't understand, because I've been like, I'm just a little distraught, guys. Like, y'all keep me in y'all's prayer. They're like, Keyra, we've watched it. We don't even feel like it's that bad. I don't understand why so many people are so like weird about this. So I'm like, I think it's just our culture that
yes, it is
that is so hard on ourselves. Because my white friends are like, literally, I texted one of my friends yesterday, and I was just like, I've just been kind of down. Like, keep me in your prayers. Like, yes, we can still go out to eat, but like, just bear with me. My energy isn't where it usually is. She was like, Keyra, I understand. I'm gonna definitely give you my prayers. I've watched the show, Keyra. I don't understand why so many people are dragging you like they are, but I don't want to minimize your feelings. Okay. So take your time and let me know.
That's good.
And then my black friends, my black friends are just like, girl, I told you should have researched this show before you got onto it. I told you that you were going to be the youngest ones. People going to hate on you. And then also, you got to really watch what you say, because you can't be as free as you are with us.
Yes.
On TV. Yes, you were very much yourself of being loose at the mouth.
but fun.
But fun. They were just like, we wish you would have used a better way to say it, but it still didn't offend me because I still resonated with all the things that you said. Okay. I just think you could have put it a different way, which I'm really good with words. And so they were like, I don't know why you said it like that, but I mean, it came out. You can't take it back. I'm like,
I love this. The circle was telling you what it is. I love that. Your family, friends, everybody was just telling you what it was.
My community
awesome.
Has been pouring into me. And then, of course, my castmates, they check in on me because they know I've been dragged. I've been dragged, y'all. And my feelings were really hurt for a good minute.
People don't realize that.
But you know what? I feel like this has made me stronger. I'm so excited for this. Has set me up for something that God has for me in the future. Period. And so that's what I have my eyes fixed on, what God has for me.
So so now that the show, we're going to go into one more thing. We have the reunion coming up. So
great.
That's the end. And then the
Thank Jesus.
Final. So for you, are you just preparing yourself for the reunion? The reunion is always like the biggest other open wound, I'd say, on the show for everybody who's on it. Whether you left or not, it's gonna be an open wound. It really is.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my God, scared to watch.
At this point, I don't know how they'll paint some things. I will say that I definitely tried to address the whole question my blackness. I don't necessarily know if it was still
edited and everything. You don't know.
I don't know if it was came across right or not. We'll see. But you'll also see me be very emotional about it. This will be the first time you'll actually see me emotional on camera about it.
I'm really happy that we'll get to see that because people said, "Oh, she's not like." The stuff that people say in the comments affects people mentally.
I try not to even read the comments, but then when people and I watch a couple of shows. I'm not a TV watcher like that,
right?
But I don't go to people's page to say rude things. But honey, people have been coming from the woodworks, coming to my page and telling me how they feel, and I'm like, the audacity, the energy that you have.
Is it anybody that you know? Has anybody in your circle that you know, like from your past, like a childhood friend or somebody you had talked to just said something negative about what they saw on the show, or even positive? Like
no one that knows me before the show has said anything negative. They all have actually had my back. I've had like an old best friend from college be like, "Hey, if to know you is to love you, Keyra, and I want to let you know these people don't know you." And you cannot let them make you feel bad. My ex has been like, "Oh, wow. I love you. I don't know why." I'm like, thank you, sugar. I appreciate y'all.
I like that.
So they were like, they've been like helping me through
it.
But no, it's people I don't know. It's people's uncles, grandmothers, I don't know, who are just like, I can't believe you said it. And they're stuck on me saying I'm the closest thing to white women. I think the Q thing, they dragged that out. They had a little bit of fake outrage. But the closest to white woman
was the biggest thing.
To me that's what stung people the most.
I think so too. I think that was kind of small. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna do a Ready to Love anymore. You're not gonna do a loving show. How about competition shows? Like
in the name of Jesus. Now this is gonna
be the challenge.
Yes, this is something I would love. I would love a challenging like a competition show. I would love Big Brother. I think that'd be so much fun. I would actually research the show before going on.
Yes, please.
And so I don't know. I'm excited to see where God is taking me. At the end of the day, I only want what's in His will for me.
Okay.
I would love in His will my husband to find me up here. Hello, you can come right now. I'm ready.
Manifestation is everything.
Yes, but I'm open. I'm open to see where God is taking me, and we'll see where that is.
So I know you're in real estate and you also dance. So you have classes. She really can't dance, y'all. So do you have classes here that as far as teaching other? Because everybody can dance. People now want to dance more than ever because of TikTok. I'm just being honest. They want to do TikTok dance. That's the new thing.
Yeah.
There are even songs coming out from TikTok now. It's really crazy. So are you on TikTok? Are you doing dance tutorials? What's the?
Maybe I should. I'm on TikTok showing like personal life. My brand is more lifestyle.
Okay.
So I talk about real estate or taking ownership of where you live and how you live.
Right.
I do have pop-up classes here and there. I teach dance, like solos, duets. I teach at a dance studio during the summer, but I don't know. I feel like God keeps bringing me back to dance. I just don't know if it's a studio in the future. I don't know. I've been praying about it, and we'll present that when it comes.
Because I think she should do something with dance. I see dancing all the time, and she's actually good at it. And a lot of us are not as good as she is. And TikTok, she will blow up. That's all they do with dance the entire time. Like literally, it's all TikTok people do. So I'm surprised she has not done anything like that. I would love to see. And her personality is in her dance. You watch her dance, it's her personality. She's smiling the entire time. It makes it fun. You want to
look at you hyping me up. Thank you, girl. Let me hug you. I need these positive comments about me. Thank you, Jesus.
To do this. I'm just saying. Y'all know I love to expand brand. I love for brands to be expanded. Is my thing. Everybody knows about me. I love doing that. So I think you should venture in TikTok with dancing. Another TikTok, maybe another created under Keyra. I don't know. Dance with Keyra. I don't know. Just something where it's just. You're just dancing. Okay. She is talented. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So I do appreciate you taking time out of your day. She's a beautiful home, by the way. Beautiful personality. Everything you see is really, really what it is.
Can I ask you what's next? Yeah. What do you have going up? What's a brewing? Look at me acting like I'm the host.
Nothing. I'm just kidding.
No, that's not true. That is not true.
Still doing Big Brother. Still doing the next season of Ready to Love and Challenge of doing that. And also working with behind the scenes some Big Brother alum to do a podcast. So we're just fun. So we're working on some things like that. But
connect me because maybe they can give me some tips.
That's why I'm telling her this. Yes. My goal now is to get her on Big Brother next season. So
look, we're gonna claim it, girl.
No, we are. I know people. So I'm gonna see what I can do with that. But again, this is Keyra Reviews. This is a sit-down interview with Miss Keyra. She is beautiful and all the things. I enjoyed her. She's silly. And this was not a Janelle interview. This was a Keyra interview.
Hello.
I love y'all. Ready to Dallas. We'll do things bigger and bigger, better here. Look forward to more coming soon. I love y'all. Hit the like button, subscribe. Bye.
Bye.